I don't know why. I don't know why this happened. I went to boom. I went to boom. I don't know why I went to do that. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Love Ting. Another episode. We are so excited to be with you guys. It's your man Rio.
And this is your girl Mika.
Babe, today, guess what?
What?
Today's a good day to have another good episode.
Always a good day to have another good
That's what I'm talking about. You know, Sunday, 7 o'clock, we're going to have hot episodes. And I think today we are also cranking it up for the folks about intentional dating and the importance of it.
Yes, today is going to be beautiful. And instead of just coming on here and talking at you guys, we are bringing in one of our super friends, one of our power partners. He is a relationship advisor. He's an author. He is, I guess, one half of the co-host duo that runs, I'm not going to mess this up, DBDS Live. Okay, that's the podcast. Dear Brother, Dear Sister. And they run an amazing group here on Facebook, another relationship community. So go ahead. We are super excited.
Excited to be partnered up with this brother. Excited to be collaborating with this brother. Excited just to be in unison with this brother because we all are on a mission, right? And a purpose to come and make impact on the lives of these relationships, right?
Exactly.
So we're super excited to have this brother in the house.
Yes.
Without any further ado,
please help us to welcome Mr. Jamal Lawrence, and we are going to be talking about the importance of intentional dating. Jamal, welcome.
Man, thank you so much for that amazing intro. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Great to be here.
You're welcome. Happy to have you.
Absolutely, brother. I mean, we're just excited to have you. We try to do you justice with the intro, but you please introduce yourself as well. Excited to have you on the show today, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Jamal Lawrence, one half of the DBDS Brothers, which stands for Dear Brothers, Dear Sisters, Listen Up. I'm an author, podcast host, relationship advisor, one of the founders to dbdssingles.com, which is a relationship site. And listen, I'm just here to drop the knowledge to help people gravitate towards healthy monogamous relationships. So thank you again for having me on board.
Listen, he said a whole lot.
Absolutely.
Dear brother, dear sister, single. You guys know we're all about relationships, and we're all about talking about relationships, but also taking action when it comes to growing and developing healthy relationships. Because one of the problems that before we got into these marriages, I know I faced as a single person was, for me, being a divorcee, I came out of this marriage and I didn't know what to do. Like, what was dating? What am I supposed to do? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do everything. I had no direction. I was out there acting a fool and playing the field. I was having a great time, but I was also having some horrid experiences. And all that led to the platform that we have right now, Powermates, because when Rio and I met, we recognized, as we would share our stories, they weren't the exact same, but there were so many similarities. And it's like, what could we have done to avoid a lot of this, right? And that's how the brand Powermates came about. That's how the work that we do came about. And also, I put him in my little prayer journal. He didn't know this, but a part of my dream relationship was to be able to do this type of work with the person that I was with. Then he came about and it's like, bam. I created him, ladies.
Yeah.
So let's get right to it.
I think you just said a good thing, and I think that might pose the first question to our brother. We just talked about, that's really manifestation, right? I mean, that's really seeing something, writing it down and taking action on it and bringing it into your life and attracting that. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of doing those type of actions to intentionally date for what you want to get from a relationship?
Yeah, I mean, that's very important. You got to know what you want. And the thing is, I feel like a lot of part of the reason why a lot of relationships don't take off or skyrocket, such as yourselves, as well as my wife and myself, is that people don't have any sort of filtration system. They don't have any rules regarding what values and behaviors that they will allow in their life, and vice versa. And the thing is that sometimes they allow the emotion factor or the sexual chemistry to overshadow a person that may be not compatible with them. And sometimes when that occurs, it puts you at a disadvantage when it comes to relationships. So that's part of the reasons. Other reasons could be, there's two groups of people, for example, that's going on right now. You got some brothers out there that will gladly be lead and gladly will provide for their woman and protect their woman, but now they're being outcast as simps. And then you have the sisters out there that feel like they don't need a man, which I call radical feminism. So when you have these two forces and this is all you see on the media, it kind of creates this perception that healthy relationships don't exist when they truly do, and we have to get back to the basics.
Wow, absolutely. Simps and radical feminists.
Wow.
Two names I do not want to be called.
I mean, and it's crazy the labels we put on people. Because I would love for you to dig a little bit deeper into that, if that's all right. Because you talked about simps, and I think sometimes as a man, I know men personally have gotten to the point where, look, fam, I want to get a girl. Look, fam, I want to have a kid. I want to build my home. And I know men get to that point at different stages in life, but they feel like, is that being a simp? Yeah, I want to take care of a woman. I want to court this woman. I want to take her out. I want to pay for her stuff. Back in the day, they used to call that simping. You ain't pimping, you simping, all that kind of stuff from the street.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that simp thing and why some guys might be running from dating because of that stigma.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a negative connotation that is brought upon our brothers out there. I think we need to reverse that trend because the thing is, I truly believe, I'm a firm believer in transformational vocabulary, right? Whatever we put words and stereotypes, it almost kind of deflect on how our persona and our mind frame is supposed to think. So I think the reason why it is to that degree, because the powers that be don't want us to be a unit. They don't want us to have headship or order in this world. And my whole case is, you don't argue with nature at all. I think we use the analogy of, to me, the greatest basketball team of all time, Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan was playing, where this brother was simply the leader of the team. Now, God forbid if he got injured or anything of that nature, Scottie Pippen, his support system, Dennis Rodman, all these great brothers would have came in to fulfill the role. They want to come in to take over the entire team, which Michael Jordan is the leader, but they'll come in to support him. And when Michael Jordan returns, the team will thrive and win championships. So I think we have to get back into making it to put out good definitions, to talk about how to be there for your woman and vice versa, that it's not simping. It's actually a metaphor to show that you care about your woman, and a metaphor that shows that she cares about her man, because iron sharpens iron in order to make us an established team.
Listen, I read something earlier by a coach I absolutely love, and he said, when you show results to people who aren't doing the work, it looks like bragging. And I feel like in today's society, right, everybody wants results quick. They want that great relationship quick. They want to lose weight quick. They want that food quick. They want to get to where they're going quick. They want everything quick in this microwave society. So when you look at a relationship, like for the people that put in the work to get to where they are, you're like, oh, I want that, but I want it right now. And that's the problem, right? You talked about defying nature and order. You can't, there's levels to this. You build to this, right? So if you don't make a decision to actually put the work in that people like us and people like Treamell and other relationship coaches and experts tell you that you need to do, it's impossible for you to get the result that you want or that you see. And there's tons of systems and where everything's being we've put it together to make it easier for you. However, as coaches, we help you along your journey. We can't do the work for you, right? That basketball team that he talked about, the team has to play to win the game. The coach can't do it for them. However, when the star player is out, everybody knows their role, and that position has to be filled.
Do you think that's a great point? Do you think that women feel like they have to be Michael Jordan in relationships and that their man is Scottie Pippen? And do you think that if that is the way the relationship is going, do you think that could be healthy at all for the woman to be Michael Jordan? She feels like that's who I am and I need you just to support me. Especially
that strong woman, right? Like, what'd you call them again? The extreme feminist.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? I don't need a man for that. I got it all by myself.
I can handle it I can handle the rock. I can pass it to myself, and I can coach. I can do everything, right? So, talk to that a little bit. Interested in your thoughts about that.
Right. I mean, I don't think that's healthy at all. In fact, I think it creates an imbalance within the relationship, because when you take the left shoe off your foot and put on the right shoe and the right shoe on the left foot, it creates an imbalance in a relationship. In my book, I actually call that the mother and child relationships, because you're no longer seen as your partner. You're no longer seen as a woman. You're more seen as a surrogate mother, and your man is no longer seen as your man. He's more seen as your adopted son, because now it comes to the point that, you know, when you lead in him, you're taking away his masculine contributions in order for him to provide, protect, lead. And the more that a woman is masculine, the more she feels that she does not need a man. The more she feels that she does not need a man, the more she does not have respect for a man. The more she does not have respect for a man, the more that she'll just see him as a child. And then at that point, you know, love is just an illusion, because I always feel like respect comes before love. You cannot love someone that you cannot respect. And our sisters out there has to get back to the point of just embracing their feminine essence, which is, I know society makes it counterintuitive to be, but when you are receptive, when you are kind, when you are cooperative and not trying to challenge your man or trying to lead him, when you have trust enough, knowing that this great brother will not lead you to a dead end, but he's doing everything necessary in order to take care of the entire family, and he's willing to put his life on the line to protect you, you know, then I don't see why our sisters cannot honor a man such as that magnitude, you know. So I think we need to get back to that basics of just the equal balance, because I feel like we were created to complement each other, you know. If you put a negative battery and a positive battery, that creates energy. You know, you cannot have two masculine types of energy or forces within a relationship. It's definitely going to cause a friction and unnecessary drama.
Listen, you just said so much, and I'm gonna tell you, ladies, this brother is speaking to you, but he's speaking to me too. So I've been deemed as this alpha female, right?
Right.
I've never been the type to say I don't need a man. However, I've been that type to say I can do it all by myself. There's a difference. See, you can be strong, you can be that boss, you can be the go-getter, you can push, you can move. However, the natural order of how man and women were created, we were given roles when we were created. Go all the way back into Genesis in the Bible, right? Mm-hmm. When God put Adam, the male figure, to sleep, so he can go in and do work, that surgery to remove a rib and create his helpmate. Why did he need a helpmate? Because there was all this work in the garden that needed to be done, and God realized that he needed a partner next to him. God didn't send Eve to be like, all right, Eve, come take over, girl. You're going to get all this garden cleaned up all by yourself. That's not what happened. Right. So being me, the alpha female that I am, I'll go, and I'll try to do it all. And I've had experiences in my life where I've burnt out because I'm trying to do it all. Now, what I'm finding is the difference in this relationship versus others. Prior to coming into this relationship, I recognized that my trait of being an alpha female, it's not a negative thing, and it's not supposed to be a death sentence, because the partner that God has designed for me to come alongside me, he's going to complement that trait. But the reason why we got together was because Rio commented on a post in a Facebook group that said he would love and support his woman, and the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing, which kind of caught my eye. But I mean, the support was there too, right?
Right.
But I'm saying, I know with everything that I've been purposed to do, I need a supportive man beside me. And with everything that he's been purposed to do, he needs a supportive woman next to him. So there's that balance, right? Why do you think, I don't know if you have anything else to say about that before I ask the next question.
No, I think you said a lot of good things there. I do believe 100% that a lot of times women take being a queen or they think being the feminine energy is a weaker energy or is a lesser energy than the masculine energy. When they don't understand that is 100% complete in and of itself, it is strong. I think that women understanding that role, that you're not lesser, there's just an order. I think it's great. And the same thing for men. The same thing for guys is also upon us to be able to humble ourselves sometimes. A lot of guys, you get with a woman, if she says I was like that, I'll let you talk about this, bro. This is me. I'm from the South. I'm from Dallas. You know what I mean? That's how we roll, y'all. If y'all know anything about Dallas, right. You know that's how we are, right?
Represent.
Representing, real talk. I mean, any talk back from, we just didn't do that. Now we roll, just being real. That's how we grew up. But I think as you grow up and you elevate as a man and you start realizing you need a queen, is that you start understanding feedback. You start understanding conversation and dialogue. So when we talk about men and intentional dating and what that's like, what's some other things that men need to, or maybe should think about and evolve to when they think about drawing in the right type of woman for them and having that type of order in their house?
Yeah, absolutely. Great questions. I mean, I always believe that us men, since we are so in our mindset to go after what we want, I believe that we're the pursuer. We're the one that asks the questions. We're the one that goes strictly after what we want. So we give. And I feel like a woman receives, she takes, right? So first thing first, as a man, I believe that you should always have a purpose. You should always have something like a mission in life. The mission in life should be so life-changing that it goes beyond your relationship with your woman. And the right woman will support your mission. She's going to want to push you to thrive for that mission because she knows overall is going to take care of the entire family. For example, Coretta Scott King, she stated that she didn't marry Martin Luther King because he was Martin Luther King. She married him because of his purpose. You know what I'm saying? So the point I want to get at here is that when you have a purpose and you have a mission in life, and as the man, you're pitching that ball, and that woman has the option to decline that pitch, not catch it, or accept it. And when she accepts it and decides to take it to the next level with you, then that's when everything should be equally balanced but different to a degree. And what I'm saying on that level is that feminine and masculine energy, I don't believe either position is more powerful than the other. I feel that masculine energy is all about action-oriented traits, going out there, doing whatever it takes in order to make that relationship thrive. It's almost as if he's a rocket ship and that woman is the nurturer, the emotional fuel, and she's pouring that fuel into the rocket ship to keep on pushing higher, higher, higher. Now, if you're with the wrong woman, she's going to suck out the gas from that ship, and it's going to plummet. It's going to go down. So to pivot to my wife, actually I met her downtown Middletown, and I was just walking. I seen this beautiful woman, and I'm like, listen, I'm going to go over there. She's beautiful. I'm going to go over there and just say hi to her. I approached her. I was like, hello, my name is Mel. I never seen you over here before. You seem like a really nice woman. I would like to get a chance to get to know you. And her friends was like, wow, okay. So we exchanged contact information. That same week, She came. We met up in my same area again. It wasn't nothing luxurious or anything of that nature. We actually went to Subway, had 1 foot long sub, split it, shared it, went around, talked for 2 hours, and had 2 strawberry coladas. And she said that was the best date she ever been on. And the point I want to get across is that when you have that connection with someone off the rip and you're collabing and you can see the compatibility and the chemistry factor, what did it for me was her having standards, because at the time I was dating at least 5 other women, just dating, getting to know them. And my soon-to-be wife, I knew off the bat when she told me, like, listen, I'm looking for a man that's in control but not a controlling man. She said, I want a man to build with. She said, if you're not on that level, then we could be friends, but that's not how I roll as just the typical female out here. And that impressed me. That impressed me a whole lot. And I was like, she's the one. She's the one.
Yeah, bro. Okay. Yeah, bro. So I mean, you said so much. All right, you said so much, and I know a lot of brothers can relate, but I think the sisters, I think there's a lot. I'll let Mika speak on this too. But I think that's a really strong point. Is that she was intentionally dating then, and you don't understand how attractive that is for you to be intentional about what you want and let it be clear in that type of manner where a man wants support and date you and know you and build with you. Like, that's something different. And I know even when my DM had some nice women in it. You know what I mean? I had some great ladies in my phone, really sweet women that were great for other men. But there was a different thing with this, right? So, Mick, I'll let you unpack that a little bit too, from a woman's perspective. But I think that's really good for ladies to hear, is that brothers, when we are intentional about wanting that queen, those are the things that we relate to, as well as connecting with that purpose. And that's what we talk about with Power Mate, connecting with that purpose. That's huge.
Listen, ladies, you heard him say, she told him, this is what I'm looking to do.
A mission.
So if you're not about that, we can be cool, we can be friends, but you're not the one for me.
You're like, man, I gotta have her. I know, I gotta have her.
So it brings back a lot of memories, okay? So as we got past the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing in the post, in the comments, and the person that originally posted the picture in the group saw that Rio and I were vibing, and she's like, okay, Rio, you need to get into Mika's DMs like ASAP, right?
Right.
I just kind of conjured up at, this is just another, this fool, like, he just wants to have fun on Facebook, whatever. But then I was like, we're not friends. Let me go check my DM to see if there's a message request. And sure enough, there was. And I kid you not, from day one, when we started conversating in Messenger, it wasn't, what are you looking for in a relationship? Or what's your favorite color? Or what do you like to do? Yada, yada, yada. From day one, we talked about some seriousness because he knew this is where my mind was at. I was intentionally dating. And if I'm going to give you the time of day, it's because I see that there's some kind of a connection there that we need to explore. Why? Because I was clear on the type of man that I wanted to be in a relationship with. I was no longer cloudy. I was no longer playing the field and just going out there and having fun. I had direction because I had put in work on myself up until this point. And what I want you ladies to understand, anybody that's watching this, is you attract who you are. So we get the question all the time, right? I'm out here doing this, I'm out here doing that. I still can't find no good man, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Have you looked at yourself?
Preach.
Would you consider who you are right now? Would you consider you a catch for you? So if you were a man and you showed up with being who you are, how you speak, how you carry yourself, how you handle your finances, how you conduct yourself, how you are with your children, your family, your friends, would you consider you a catch to you? And that's what I did. And I was like, dang.
It's deep. That's deep.
I'm not that cute. No. So then that's when I was like, okay, if I'm saying I want this in a man, am I this? If I'm saying I want a man who's going to be nurturing and supportive, am I nurturing and supportive in my relationships with my friends, my family, my children? I even went back and looked at the relationship I had with my ex. Is that a healthy relationship? We're co-parenting. How is that relationship? Is it nurturing? Is it soft? Is it supportive? Or is there turmoil? Am I bitter? And I went through a whole experience where I was forced by God to turn the trajectory of that relationship. And I had to. And now we're good. So look at those areas of your life, right? The things that I'm asking for a man to bring to the table. And I'm not talking about being a boss and money and all that stuff. I'm talking a deeper level. The emotions, the support, the being the guide. Do I lift people up or do I tear them down? Do I suck the oxygen from them, or am I that fuel that's going to propel them into their purpose? And that's when I legit did that inventory of Mika, and I was like, I had to switch this up. But then when I did, I started to glow different. I started to speak different. I started to smile different. I started going to different places and attracting different people and having different conversations.
It's contagious.
It is. And that is the art of attraction that we talk about all the time. So if you feel like you're not being seen by the type of man, the type of woman that you want to see you, do that internal inventory. And not surface, go deep. And we got the Love is Challenge coming up. This is exactly what we're doing in the challenge, like for real, helping you get that clarity.
Yes, I love what you stated, because relationships are reflective. So if you're a broken person, more than likely you will attract a broken person. I was broken back then, and I attracted some broken people. But when you are healthy, I think the goal is to be whole and complete. So that way, when you find someone, you're sharing your completeness with someone else. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You're not looking to deplete their energy. You're already sharing that level of completeness. And I love what you just stated, because it's so true. Like, you got to look within yourself. You got to ask yourself, would I date myself? I mean, my wife, she was mysterious, I think right now these days with some of our sisters is actually a loss. The art of discretion is lost. You could just look on Facebook and see asses all over the place, and the thing is that with my wife, she just, the way she carries herself, her mannerism, she's very kind, receptive. I'm like, wow, she will make a great wife. And I know in the Bible they quote, like, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, but you have to be a wife first in order to be found, so that's a lot there. Before I move any further, though, I want to go back to something you said before about you guys' first date night. Isn't it funny how that date night you guys had was her favorite date? It's something about, I think that something else is lost, because you said something from women that you can see asses everywhere, and that's so true. I believe that we're attracting women, and you are too. We're attracting sisters who are past that point. I'm not putting my ass on the internet, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still looking for a man who wants to court me the same way I courted you, same way you courted your wife. They're looking for a man like that, because there's a different energy, right? Some guys say nowadays buying big bags and buying expensive shoes and trips is love, right? That's how I express myself. I love you, babe, because I know women like diamonds and all that. But listen, girl, I went and bought you all this stuff. So I think some men might feel insecure that until I can get that for her, until I'm at a place of perfectionness, that I should not be out here trying to talk to any woman. I shouldn't be dating anybody. Can you talk to that a little bit too, from the brothers that might be apprehensive, where, hey, I'm trying to build my dynasty, but should I wait until it's already built before I find my queen? Should I just wait until I already do everything? Not at all, brother. I believe that as a man, as long as you're precise and you're working on something, establishing your purpose, the right woman will come along. You will come across the right woman. I know doing a research, Pauletta and Denzel Washington at the time, just to share some of their story. This brother was a struggling actor, Broadway actor at that time. And his wife was definitely well more financially stable and everything like that. But what caught her attention of Denzel, she noticed that he wasn't the type of brother that was just sitting around. He was actually working towards his goal. He was coming up with strategies, executing his plan. He had a vision. He just, and sometimes when you have the right woman, they could see your blind spot to point it out in order for that vision to become a reality. And Pauletta, now look at him. I mean, this guy's like Oscar winning, the best actor ever, right? And the point I want to get at is that you don't have to, it's easy to spend money on a woman. From a man's perspective, it's easy, but it's much harder to get to know someone. It's more challenging to get to know someone. And I think the reason why my wife and I's first date was so memorable, because we actually had a 2-hour walk, $5 sub, foot long sub, having an engaging conversation, whereas all the other guys before me just took her out because she was pretty and they just wanted a trophy on the arms. But I seen past the beauty. I think a real man, beauty is not enough. You can see the substance, like beyond the realm of her being beautiful, what else can she bring to the table? And I'm not talking about materialistic. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about, can she bring peace to the table? Can she bring respect to the table? Can she, those blind spots, and I'm trying to reach that level, is she the type of woman to hit those blind spots so I can see in myself and take it to the next level? Is she an emotional supporter? Like, those are the kind of things that draw me more to her, because she brought all those forefronts to the table. But you don't have to have the biggest house, have the flyest car. No, I think the right woman will actually be more appreciative if you know that you have a purpose in life, no matter what you're doing. You can be a manager at Burger King, brother, So, I want my brothers to get out of that mindset and be their authentic self, so that way they can attract their natural counterpart.
Listen, I love that. And you said something so key just now. Can she be an emotional supporter? Why is that important, especially to a man? Why is it important for women to be emotionally supportive? And why is that important when it comes to intentional dating, is my question.
I believe that is very significant, because when, at times us brothers, we can feel like the world is coming to an end. I mean, when we out there holding the weight on our shoulder and handling our business, and when the world is telling you sometimes that you can't do anything, the powers that be, or whatever it is that you're going through, having that emotional supporters, like someone charge your battery pack. They charge you up, and it makes you almost invincible. And I actually believe that when a woman is such a great emotional supporter and such a huge cheerleader for a man, the right man feel like he can accomplish anything. And I think that's the key point. That's the key element. Because a woman that's in your corner, man, I mean, I always, just to use another analogy, I like to use analogies to bring vision, but that man, he's the vision. He's the one driving that car for it to go. That woman is the fuel to get that car to the destination. Without that emotional support, you will have a very hard time to reach that destination that you two are trying to do, trying to reach.
Yeah, I mean, great question and a brilliant answer. I couldn't agree more. But here's my question, though. What if they haven't seen a relationship like the ones we're talking about? What if they never seen it before? Like, all this stuff sounds cute. I heard about it in the Bible, that I'm supposed to be submissive and the man is the head of the house and all that. But all the guys I dated, he wasn't head of nothing. I gave him all the love and support. I rubbed his back. he still went and messed around on me, right? Or the brothers, I felt like I was here for this woman. I felt like I was loving on this woman. And the next thing you know, it fell apart. Tell them why they should give it another chance. Why can't intentional dating work a second or even third time?
Well, I mean, it all starts with, having values. It all starts with making sure that person that you're dealing with is someone that is receptive, is someone that is reciprocating. In my book, I have something called the tennis theory, because again, no relationship is perfect. But within the tennis theory, when somebody's serving the ball, you expect them to hit it back in order to have a really good loving match. Sometimes during that tennis theory, sometimes someone may walk off the court and they need a break. And that's when communication comes into play. And I feel that as long as the relationship is not toxic to the point that there's any abuse, as long as, you both can have a great discussion, because I feel that relationships are gray areas. Some people just think it's black and white, that is one direction or the opposite direction, where I feel like when it's a gray area, there's like 1,000 solutions. Sometimes some people just think, oh, that's it, just they parallel each other in one direction, but you can create a new direction within a relationship. So when you go through bad times and you feel like, hey, just want to give up whatsoever, and if you have the right woman, you just gotta communicate. Communication is the key. And once you have that communication laid out on the table, and as long as it's in a respectful manner, then I feel like you can pull through just anything.
Amazing. And I'm just going to add to that, to the question and the answer. Sometimes when we haven't prepared ourselves, right, for what we know we want, and we find ourselves in a situation that is not supposed to be a lasting situation, it was supposed to be a lesson. With that lesson, it sets you up for your next step, right? You guys heard me say before we got together, I was divorced. I was in a long-term relationship. We were married, we had children, raising kids, the whole 9 yards. And as long as it was 11 years, but as long as that was, I now recognize, after doing all my self-work, that was the relationship that I needed at the time to be able to get me in my trenches, so I can prepare myself in the trenches for my treasure.
Yeah, right? and something that I went through, even through my divorce, right? When I was down low, rock bottom on relationships, I'm talking about to the point where I will never, I'm not sure if y'all know what I'm talking about, but when you get divorced and you have a bad break, I will never in my life get married again in my life. I'm not getting no more relationships. I was at rock bottom, even to the point where I was attracting women because I didn't want to be hurt again, and I was so afraid of being hurt the way I was hurt. I was attracting women who were actually hurting me, doing the exact same things that I didn't want them to do, because I was so consumed with not being hurt. And I think that's where some of our singles are. They're consumed with not being hurt. So you see their list is all about what somebody else did to me and how they're not going to do it again and how I'm not going to put up with this. So when they intentionally date, they actually attract piranhas. They attract toxicity. They attract what they don't want. So I think a big paradigm shift that I went through, and you guys might be able to testify as well when we talk about intentional dating, is I had to say, you know what, I'm opening myself back up to love and relationship. What can I give, right, to a partner more than what I can receive from a partner? Am I, like Mika said, have I done an investment check on myself? A relationship is an investment, and some of our portfolios suck, and we don't want to be real. You know what I mean? And people, we're saying invest in me, but my brother, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good for an investment. So we got to look at it like that. So we talk about intentional dating, right? And we're talking about people making an investment of, we have to do that self-assessment, do that check. And that's why we want you guys to make sure you join the challenge. We're going through this. We're going to talk about why all these steps are so important, right? Because if you want to find a mate like we did, these steps are just essential. You have to hit them. Okay.
And I mean, it's only 3 days, guys. It's 3 days. That's going to set you up to start thinking different, to start to really put pen to paper and give you that nudge for you to get that self-work done that we all know we need to do on ourselves, but we don't get around to, right?
Yes. Yeah, that is so important what you guys just stated, because the 2 things that you need coming from a bad breakup is heal and self-reflect. You know, the old saying, you know, time heals wounds. That's not true. You have to self-reflect, you know, because if you don't self-reflect and you just blaming that on the other person, sometimes you have to, what role did I play in a relationship? It takes 2 to tangle, you know, because in my past relationship that did not work, I can tell you right now, I'm an open book. What didn't occur with me at the time, I was a cupcake brother. I was in a mother and child relationship. I didn't have a backbone. I just allow anyone to just walk all over me, and women find that very unattractive, you know. So I had to reassess, change my mindset, you know, be more assertive, you know, be a leader, be more assertive, and all of a sudden now I'm with my queen, you know. But 3 of the things that we talk about in my book is called the 3 DBDS zones, you know, that can help our people. I'll probably just tell 2. I won't tell the 3rd. If you want to find out the 3rd one, you gotta check out the book.
Yeah, come to you for the 3rd one. Get the book.
But the first one is called the friend zone. And during the friend zone, you don't have sex at all. You take your time to get to know that person, gather data, see if you 2 are compatible, and so forth. The second zone is called the intimacy zone, and this is where you both know where the relationship is heading. This is where you can see if there's a connection pattern to take it to the next level. Maybe this is where you're going to introduce this particular person to your kids or to your inner circle. But there's a 3rd zone that completes it. And I know some of our clients have tried those 3 zones, and now they are in healthy relationships. So make sure you get the book.
I like it. And speaking of the book, let them know where they can find the book. Show them a copy of the book. This is your time.
Thank you. So the book is called Dear Brothers, Dear Sisters, Listen Up. Right now it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.com. It's available in Kindle format as well as hard copy. And not only just that, we have our own relationship website. We don't call it a dating site. We call it a relationship site called dbdssingles.com. So if you're looking for a healthy, established relationship, authentic profiles, nobody playing games, come to the site. And if you meet somebody on our site, we will pay for the first date. You know, you will pay for the first date.
I like it.
Right on. Love that, bro. Love that. That's amazing.
So we like to do this thing where we give our guests a moment, right? If you can leave the audience with a tip, a gem, a piece of advice, something from Mel that will help them along their relationship journey to their power mate, what would you say to them?
I would say, dear brothers, you can't lead a relationship until you lead yourself. And to my sisters out there, we need each other. You know, let's work together. Iron sharpens iron. And I appreciate coming onto the show. Thank you.
Yo, thank you, my brother. I think that you guys have heard so many gems, so many great nuggets, so many wonderful takeaways. We want you to go and support the book. We want you to understand as well, especially for my brothers that are listening, that we have to understand that, you know what, I've messed up and screwed up some great relationships. I did that because I was immature. I wasn't ready. There were things that I needed to work on. You heard our brother say that, you know what, I was too passive in my last relationships. I wasn't assertive enough. I wasn't ready. But I think we have to forgive ourselves, my brother, because there are women out here who are preparing themselves to be your queen, to be your power mate, to be that woman. And if you want to learn how to intentionally date, the challenge is also for you, because preparing ourselves for this type of foundation building is our job and it's our duty. It's our responsibility. So if we're talking to you fellas, we want to make sure that you join the challenge as well. It's not just about the ladies, it's about us too. Because if we're going to lead this empire that we're talking about building, brothers, guess what? We got to put in the work. You ain't got to be perfect, right? But you got to be working. You got to be perfect, but you got to be working, all right?
And we've created some tools to help you right along with your journey to eliminate a lot of that guesswork. We've actually created the PowerMate quiz, and in the PowerMate system that we teach, there are 4 personality types. So when you take this quiz, you get to find out what your personality type is when it comes to love and relationships, and also the personality type that you best match up with. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not always what we think. It's not best if we date people that are just like us, which is generally what we're looking for, but that's not the case. So make sure you check out Amazon for Treamell's book, Dear Brother, Dear Sister.
Check out the group too.
Check out
the group. We're in each other's group.
Exactly.
Hold the book, my bro. There we go.
There you go. Listen up, Dear Brother, Dear Sister. Listen up. Yes. And don't forget, Exposed, Love Unstuck. That is the guide, the workbook for you to start your journey. It is a self-care guide to attracting your power mate. We brought together everything we've been through and all our knowledge. We put it together to help you, as the person that's reading it, kickstart that self-work.
Make sure both of these books are in your collection, right? And make sure they ain't on the shelf collecting dust. You need to have these books open. Don't be talking about you can't find a relationship and I'm asking something about the book you don't know. Have you gone through the book? The people that are going through the book are finding relationships. They're attracting their power mate. It is what it is. They're going through his book. They're getting the relationships they want. They're finding the results. Are you going to do the work? Is the question, right?
Do the work because it works.
Right on. Right
Period.
on. Right on.
Guys, this has been a great show. Thank you again, Mel, for being here with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching the Love Ting, and we will see y'all again next week.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace out, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.